Malawi and Tanzania do share strong bilateral relations which are based on historical ties, mutual interest to promote the living standard of the people of the two countries, traditional people-to-people exchanges, and a common interest in regional and global cooperation. Last year, in 2023, President Samia Suluhu Hassan visited Malawi for a 3-day state visit where she was the esteemed guest of honor during commemoration of Malawi's 59th independence anniversary. The state visit of President Samia marked a crucial step in fostering closer ties between Malawi and Tanzania, paving the way for an enhanced collaboration in various sectors, including trade, infrastructure, and regional integration.
Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi, Your Excellency Madam Monica Chakwera, First Lady of the Republic of Malawi, Tanzania wants to assure you, the people of Malawi, that we'll always stand by you and with you during the needy time as we do during the good times. Your joy will always be ours, as well as your sorrow.
Both countries are committed to utilizing this opportunity to strengthen their partnership and jointly address shared challenges, and also an embodiment of the strong bond between Malawi and Tanzania, solidifying their commitment to mutual growth and development. To discuss more on Tanzania-Malawi propelling both nations towards a prosperous and interconnected future, here is His Excellency Andrew Kumwenda, the Malawian High Commissioner to Tanzania.
This is the International Sphere.
Mr. High Commissioner, thank you very much for accepting us here at the Malawian High Commission here in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam. And of course, let me start by greeting you saying, Mwaswela Bwanji.
Taswela Bwino.
Thank
you very much for understanding my language.
Asante sana. Karibu to Tanzania.
Asante.
Asante. Mr. High Commissioner, just explain to our viewers, when exactly did you submit your credences here in Tanzania, and what was your main mission when coming to our country, Tanzania?
Yeah, I came to Tanzania around 10 March in 2022. Okay. I was received by the president a few weeks later, about 3 weeks max. It doesn't take long here, sure.
Oh, okay. Getting to your mission now, what was your main mission to our country?
This was my first posting, so I was a novice. But I benefited from the president's advice, my president's advice, that you are there to represent Malawian interests, to do the best thing you can do for your country. So I looked at all that and I said, how do I best represent my president? The first thing I thought about was I have to be a good person. I've got to show the good nature of Malawians. But apart from that, we had been advised, just like my colleagues were, that our role is mostly economic diplomacy, as well as political and other. Yeah. So when I came here, that was my focus.
Okay, sure. Great. Now, looking at Malawi foreign policy, yeah. What does it stand for, apart from the camaraderie relationship that you have between the two countries, Malawi and Tanzania? But of course, for Tanzania, where does it focus?
Malawi foreign policy, you should realize that primarily it is for the benefit of Malawi. Okay. However, we you cannot always seek something that is good for you without actually getting the same from the person that you are seeking that from. So I've always looked at it that when I do anything for Malawi, it must be of benefit to Tanzania as well. So in everything, political, economic, cultural, social, etc., everything must be of mutual benefit. And that has been my approach. Yeah.
Okay. Over the years, Malawi and Tanzania has been sharing very cordial relationship.
Yes.
What is your account on that? Because it's almost about 58, 59 years.
Yes. Just to correct you, it has not been all rosy. We got independence almost at the same time. There were problems between our two countries vis-a-vis the outlook on the outside world. At one time, Dr. Banda's regime had its internal enemies. They fled to Tanzania. So Kamuzu Banda didn't take kindly to that. You are harboring my enemies. The relationship has been up and down. However, since 1994, when we changed to a multi-party democracy, the situation has markedly improved. We've had very good relationships. When we had our first leader, Dr. Bakiri Muluzi, after 1994, that is during the multi-party regime, things started improving. And I've privileged to come here at a time when relations are even better. Yes. So I would say that I have, from the onset, tried to make things better than before. So I hope that you see the fruits of that. Your president was in Malawi,
Yes, last
which
year.
had never been the case before.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the International Sphere.
Mr. High Commissioner, this is the year 2024. In getting my facts right, Malawi, with 60 years of political independence from the British rule, how do you think Malawi has transformed in political, socio-economic? And how do you think is to address these challenges, if any?
On the political front, the journey, as I alluded to, has been one. We moved from the British rule to our own rule, and at the beginning it was multi-party, but the initial win by Malawi Congress Party was so overwhelming that the other parties kind of died off, and it turned into a one-party state. Later on, people did not like it and agitated for change. And in 1994, we became a multi-party democracy. The founding father actually accepted through a referendum the results that people want multi-party democracy. So since that time, we've been maturing. We've had to review the laws. We've had to go through a lot of pains in terms of people being too free without responsibility, and then realizing that, yes, you can be free, but you need to be responsible. But as it is, politically, probably we are the most democratic country in this region, or possibly Africa. Economically, there have been challenges. When Kamuzu Banda was ruling things started off very well. Then we had a moment when, towards the end of his rule, that the economy did not function properly.
Yeah, this is my next question, that with all the potentials that Malawi has, but still, and people even address it as a poor country.
Exactly.
So, Mr. High Commissioner, do you think it's high time now, approaching to 60 years this year of your independence, to reflect on the challenges and address them?
Yes, that's what the current government is doing. The performance over the past 30 years has been very poor. And when the new government of Dr. Chakwera came in, it set about to embark on a mission that would improve the country by at least 2030, to make sure that it's at least is a middle income country. It is not easy. We have plans, but we have also had challenges.
But what are the plans now?
The plans are that we have to make Malawi a self-reliant country that doesn't leave any citizen behind. And going towards 2063, that's the main agenda. We must be at least an upper middle class country. However, over the past 3 years, we had COVID, we had cyclones, we had cholera. Now we have got this climate change thing about Malawi not receiving the right rains. We know these are the challenges that we are facing. However, the government has put in place plans to make sure that we are climate smart, we are resilient. So rather than relying solely on rains, we are going into irrigation. We are embarking on mega farming. These are things that perhaps is a big shift from the previous focus, which was agriculture was seen as an economic activity that would take the average person, especially the citizens with the lowest income, the smallholders, would take them out of poverty. But as we concentrated on that, it did not translate into viewing agriculture as a business. So now we are going big in all aspects. So we have opened the country to foreign investors, including Tanzanians, if they are available, to come and help us with that.
This is the International Sphere.
Traders from both countries, or businessmen from both countries, Malawi and Tanzania, do face some challenges within doing their business. Still, there is that challenge. And the only way of strengthening this issue to make sure that it's now conducive for the businessmen and traders all together is to make sure that the two countries agree to have a one-stop border post in Karonga. What is the progress of this, Mr. High Commissioner?
It is a little bit slow. However, we are cognizant that Tanzania has done its part. Malawi is in the process. What we have done is we have actually compensated people around that area so that we can develop the infrastructure. The contractor has been identified, and money now is being put in the budget to start off. So we should have progress in that very soon. But perhaps I need to take you a little bit back. The focus of our government is not just on agriculture, for example. We have identified 3 things which we call ATM, was agriculture, tourism, and mining. Okay. So the focus is shifting to being predominant agriculture to going into other sectors as well. So we also want to graduate from just producing primary products to industrialization. So that's the focus on the of this government. I am aware, to come back to the thing about our trade. In fact, when I presented my papers, Mama Samia said, there's very little trade between us.
Yeah, because it's
how can we improve that? So I said, that's something that we're working on. We have got poor infrastructure on the Malawian side, even at Chitipa, Tunduma, that area. So already the government is constructing that. We visited that place. We noted that Tanzania has taken a good road up to the border. In fact, constructed a bridge unilaterally, which is a help to us as well. So we will merge the two countries, so people will be traveling between us very well. And aside from just having a border, people in Tanzania need to be aware of what is available in Malawi. And same thing with Malawians here. So between us, we are already working on having joint fairs. We've had the joint fairs in Mzuzu, and then we are going to have another one in Mbeya, where these traders can actually meet and exchange information.
President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera did introduce Swahili language within the school curriculum in Malawi.
Yes.
So that the schools can be taught Swahili language. Mr. High Commissioner, has that been implemented?
Not yet.
Why is that?
Let's say that the wheels of government turn, but turn slowly sometimes. Following that instruction, what has happened is that with your former High Commissioner,
yes,
Humphrey Polepole, and then later, Madam Kayola, your President High Commissioner, we have tried to follow up on this issue. So the Tanzanian side drafted a memorandum of understanding, which would guide the whole thing. And in Malawi, we received it, and the Ministry of Education is having a look at it. What I know is that there were issues to do with the implementation, because it came at a time when the budget was not yet passed, the education budget, because it would be mean Tanzania sending teachers to Malawi to assist. So that delayed a bit. However, there were also a few problems, like this is going to be expensive given the priorities. As I said, Malawi has had a lot of problems, with all these catastrophes. So we are trying to come up with a way that would be beneficial to both Malawi and Tanzania. I remember me talking to some decision makers, people who were involved in looking at the memorandum of understanding. Said, don't look at it like this is what Tanzania wants, but look at it as a thing that is going to help both of us. So why don't you propose, for example, doesn't Tanzania need English teachers, for example?
Okay.
Why can't it be an exchange program so that each country can benefit?
This is the International Sphere.
Mr. High Commissioner, yes, I agree with you because we are running out of time, but I need to accommodate these questions too.
Right.
Is talking about the JPCC, that is the Joint Permanent Committee Commission within the two countries.
Yes.
And you have mentioned here, I see the issue of Swahili being taught within the curriculum of schools in Malawi.
Yes.
Not yet in very good progress. And of course, the traders between the two countries, the business is not very, very appealing. So, Mr. High Commissioner, how active is JPCC? Because I think it could be helping out to charting ways out for this all to happen.
When I was coming into the country, the last JPCC had been held in 2017. So that was one of the first things that I had to resurrect. And thanks to Mama Samia and the former Minister for Foreign Affairs, Madam Mulamula.
Yeah, by then, yes.
Yes. We worked on this quickly and we held our first JPCC under my watch. That was in 2022. Okay. Now, under that arrangement, we have got so many areas to cover. It's not just trade. It's not just Swahili. We've got immigration, we've got security, and all sorts of things. Yeah. So these other areas, we are working very well. This idea of having these joint fairs, they have already started, maybe slowly. Yes. Very briefly,
Mr. High Commissioner here. Tanzania is marking 60 years or 60th anniversary of the union.
Yes.
That is the union between Tanganyika and Zanzibar in 1964, 26th of April. What is your commendation to the government of Tanzania?
Actually, it was very, it was something that I personally had an interest in to see how it is working. Okay. I can see that it's working very well. It's a system that you have which is taking care of political interests of both sides, leaving space for Zanzibar and mainland, and at the same accommodating the political issues and economic issues of Zanzibar into the union. So that's how it should be. And I believe it is doing well.
Sure. Your Excellency Andrew Kumwenda, the High Commissioner of Malawi to Tanzania, I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Asante.
How do I say it? Asante in...
Zikomo.
Zikomo. Oh, okay.
Zikomo kwa mbili.
Zikomo kwa mbili.
Yes.
Asante sana. Asante. Well, dear viewers, we have come to the end of our discussion here on your program, The International Sphere, whereas today, just remember, I've been joined by His Excellency Andrew Kumwenda, who is the Malawian High Commissioner to Tanzania. From me, your host, Agnes Tuniga, I thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, it's goodbye.